Hi, and welcome to Mandarines. My name is Melody, and today is March the 9th. This is episode 7, and Mandarines is a knitting, crafts, and nature related podcast. So, if it's your first time watching, I hope that you will enjoy it, and if you're um, returning, I'm glad that you decided to come back. So, I have a couple of things to talk about this week. Um, some knitting. I don't have so many things to show you knitting related. I have finished objects, some yarn, some yarn acquisitions. I received a lovely package. I would like to share the content with you. I have some gardening notes. And yeah, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start with my finished object, which is something that I'm wearing. Um, so this sweater, I started it at the beginning of last week because I really wanted to use Latvian wool. As I said in a previous podcast, I don't know for how long I'm going to stay in Latvia. And so I've been here for a year and a half and I haven't used Latvian wool before. And it was just ridiculous to be in a country that has such a strong knitting tradition and not try the yarn that I can find here. So the week before, I went to my local yarn shop and I got some wool. I got this color, which is undyed, and I got some white wool as well. I mean, it's white creamy wool. And so I first purchased 3 skeins of this color and I started knitting and I realized that I was going to run out of yarn. So I went back Friday or Saturday, I don't remember. I went back there last week and I got 1 more skein to finish the sweater. And because it's knit with a very chunky yarn, it just took me a couple of days to complete it. So it was really nice because I'm working on other things that are either on fingering weight yarn or on sport weight. So it's a very small gauge, so it's taking a lot of time. So when you have something that can knit up so fast, it's very satisfying to finish something so quickly. So I knit this sweater because the days are getting warmer and warmer. I feel that we are reaching the end of winter and spring is not so far, I think. Last year spring arrived, I think, in the middle of May, which is very late for me because in France, spring usually starts by the middle of March. By the middle of March. So we have quite a long spring compared to here. I feel that it lasts for a couple of weeks only. So it's very different. I was so surprised because in March, I was already ready. I was waiting for spring and I was just thinking that I will enjoy spring for a very long time, but it's actually not the case. It's the same with autumn. It doesn't last for very long. They have summer is, I think we have summer for 2 months maybe, and winter is definitely longer. It can last up to 5 to 6 months. So, but I'll be going back to France in May, at the beginning of May. So that That way I will be able to enjoy spring a little bit longer. I'll be staying for 2 weeks. The first week I'll be going to Brittany to visit. So if you look at the map, Brittany is the western part of France. Yeah, so we will be going there for 1 week, and then I'll be staying with my parents at my parents' house for another week, and then I will fly back to Latvia. And so I was talking about the sweater and talking about France. So the sweater, the idea for this sweater is I really wanted to have something that I would be able to wear in the woods without a coat. Because when the weather is getting better, the only thing that I want is to just go outside and spend time in the woods, do different activities, and hike, travel, try to learn more about the plants that I can find in the woods. And I definitely don't want to wear any coats. So I have a couple. I've knit a couple of sweaters before, but I feel that they're maybe too precious, in the sense that the wool is merino. I think merino wool for almost all of them, and I don't want to kind of spoil them if I go in the woods. And I don't know, I wanted to have a very rustic sweater, and that I wouldn't mind if something would happen to it. So I'm not saying that I won't take care of it. It's just that I didn't spend that much time knitting on it, so that wouldn't be a disaster if something would happen to it. So yeah, as I said before, I don't have a lot of clothes. I don't have a lot of belongings. In that way, I'm kind of a minimalist. And the reason why is because I'm living in a foreign country at the moment, and I don't feel the necessity of accumulating things at home. I've never really been that way anyway. So it just doesn't make sense to have buy a lot of clothes, and then when the day will come that I will have to come back to France, what would I do with the clothes? Either get rid of them or put them in boxes and send them to France. That's it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I really wanted to make that sweater. Not that I necessarily need another sweater, because I finished the Strucker not a long time ago. So I could definitely wear that in the woods too. But I feel I wanted to have something a bit different that I could wear over dresses, because 90% of the time I'm wearing a dress or skirts. And the Strucker, it's really nice, but the color work doesn't necessarily go with all of my clothes. So if I would have something rustic and dyed, I could mix and match with my clothes. And I wanted to say something else. Yes, about Latvian wool. So the other reason why I wanted to knit this sweater is because I don't get attached to things, as I said, but I like to create memories, because I feel that the time is passing so fast, and if we don't enjoy the simple moments and try to keep memories, well, they're kind of fading away, and then we don't really remember the good moments, the good time that we spent in a place at a specific moment in our lives. So That's the reason why I'm spending a lot of time behind the camera, taking pictures, because I like to keep memories of things. I don't think that we can really rely on our memories. We can rely on it for like big events, very important things, but for everything that is feeling our day-to-day life, we don't necessarily remember because it's not important for our brain, so we don't keep memories. But for me, it's the simple things that make me happy. So if I can look back, let's say in a couple of years, and see what I've been doing from a day-to-day basis, and look what I've been doing, and getting inspired by the things that I've done, or just keeping memories of the happy things that I did, it will make me even more happy. So, yeah, I take a lot of photographs to keep memories, and I love to use the craft as well to achieve the same thing. I like to collect physical memories. I would say it that way, collecting physical memories. And this sweater is a physical memory, I would say. Because when I will be back in France, I will always remember of my stay in Latvia through that sweater. I think I'm going to call it my Latvian sweater. And every time that I will wear it, I will remember of my stay here. And that's the same idea behind the botanical embroidery project. If you look back at my previous episode, in one of them I quickly talked about it, and it's the same thing. It's the idea is to keep a physical memory of a plant or a flower that I really, really liked in a specific place and at a specific moment of my life. So I embroider a small flower or plant and put it into a hoop and fix it to the wall. So then I could, let's say in a couple of years, I will have a wall full of physical botanical embroidery memories. So the sweater, I didn't talk about it yet. So it's a simple raglan sweater. I didn't really follow a pattern for it because I didn't want to have anything fancy. I just wanted to create a very simple sweater that will fit. So it's raglan. So you start, it's a top-down sweater. So you start with the neck and then you start increasing for the arms and for the body. So this is how it looks like. I finished it yesterday evening, so it's not blocked yet. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Just very simple, chunky sweater. So the wool I have used, 3.5 skins of this chunky Latvian wool. So it's 100% Latvian wool. So the wool it's 100% Latvian wool, and it's a chunky weight or very very chunky weight yarn because it's a 100-gram skin, and you get 130 meters. So 3.5 skins. And I have knitted with very, very large knitting needles. I think I have used, I don't really know. I'm gonna try to see which needle I've been using. So for the ribs, so on the neckline, on the calf, and for the body, I have used 6 millimeters needles. And for the body, I have used these massive needles. I never use them because they're so big, and they don't hurt my hands. I never get tired with knitting. I never get any sort of pain, but I just feel maybe a little bit more tired than with smaller needles. So I've used these ones, and they are US 11, so it's 8 millimeters. Yeah. And these are the Knit Pro. These are wooden needles, and they are not. I don't think that they're the symphony ones. I don't remember how they're called, and so I broke my favorite pair. Anyway, so finished sweater. I'm really pleased with it. I've been wearing it today. I went out and I wore it today with my coat on. It was so warm. The wool is insanely hot, so I've been climbing a little hill, and I was so hot. So I'm really looking forward to warmer days when I will be able to just wear the sweater and nothing else. I also thought of doing some color work on the sweater, but I've just decided to use the same wool. But the good part about this sweater is because it's top down, what I can do is, if I get ever bored with it, I can always rip back the sleeves and the bottom and add some color work. So this is the same wool, the white one, and I still have some what's it called? An orangey brown wool. It's Let Loppy that I have used for my stroker sweater. I have enough to do a little bit of color work on that sweater if I ever want to do it. So I keep that in the back of my mind. But at the moment, I'm really pleased. I'm going to wash it tonight and see if it's going to grow a little bit. I think it will. The size is really good, but maybe I would like to have a bit more length on the body. So what I usually do, just to stretch them a little bit, it's instead of drying them flat, I usually hang them on a hanging wire, so then the water stretches the sweater when it dries. So I will probably try to do that. So for the work in progress, so I've completed my sweater, and the only thing that I'm working on that I can show you is my water lily. I haven't worked on it since last week, since the needles broke actually, because I'm going to rip it back, but I've been too busy this week working on other things, so I didn't work on it, but I'm going to start over ASAP. I'm just showing you the sweater quickly. I mean the work in progress. So wanted to show you the mistake. It's so uneven because I've been trying to get the stitches back because I've lost 50 stitches or so when the needle broke. So I've tried to put them back. I can definitely do it when there's a couple of stitches of the needles, but when it's like 50 stitches on, let's say, almost that are off almost until the garter part, it's just too much work. So it's very uneven, and I know that I'm not going to be pleased with that. So I'm going to start over. Things I don't have too much. I didn't work on it too far, so that's it for the water lily. So this is in my little Jenna Rose handmade on Etsy bag. This is my Jenna Rose handmade bag, and she's on Etsy. So I bought this little bag, I think over a year ago, little bit more than a year, maybe. And I'm just in love with her work. I love project bags a lot, but I'm very specific in my taste, in what I like and what I don't like. And I love natural fabric, soft colors. So yeah, what she does is something that I really, really love. The little forest in the snow, it reminds me of Latvia all the time in the winter, because as I said, we have pine forest all over the place. And last week, so I placed an order at the beginning of February, and I think last week or the week before, I received the second bag that I ordered from her. And I really, really love it. I've been wanting it for a very long time, but most of the time she was sold out, so I wasn't able to get it. And so she changed the design quite a bit. The first one is flat, so it doesn't have a bottom, so the back cannot sit. But it doesn't bother me at all. I love this design so much. So this one is, so it's an oak, and there's some acorns. Just love it so much. And she has different linen backgrounds, or even the design, she uses different colors, so it's very, very neat. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's going to do later, because I love her work so much. She draws the designs, and then she screen prints them on the fabric. Then I have a little bit of wool to talk about. I just came back from the post office because I received 2 packages, and I prefer to go in the morning. It's not far away, but I prefer to go in the morning, and then I can work when I come back and do my things. So the first package that I have received is from my friend Mel, who's Knits on Instagram. She used to blog at Single-Handed Knits, but she recently changed the name of her podcast and blog, and now you can find her at With Mel. I think withmel.com. She has a Ravelry group as well. And so she sent me a little package. So she included these wooden 3mm needles. It's also nice because I I already have 3mm needles, but I use them quite a bit, and I have metallic ones and bamboo, and yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy these quite a lot. She sent a little card as well. Then she sent a little marigold ointment from earthstatic.us. Yeah, only natural ingredients, and that's going to be really good because I can keep that in my project bags. Because marigold is very good. Marigold is very good for the skin, and so as you know now, I love to use natural wools and the ones that are a bit more rustic, like this one. But the other side of using natural wool is that it injures my fingers a little bit because I have some skin problems, and every time that there's something that is a bit rough that is touching my skin, I start to have some pain, some breakouts on the fingers, and that's very annoying. So if I can moisturize my fingers a bit, maybe that will help out. She also sent me yarn. She sent me 2 skins of Malabrigo Silky Merino, which is a blend of 51% silk, 49% of merino wool. There's approximately 150 yards for 50 grams. And that's in the green gray colorway. And she told me that it reminds her of the ocean, because if you look at her podcast or if you go to her Instagram, you will see that she must have been a mermaid in a previous life, because she loved the ocean so well. She used to live in Hawaii, and she was always recording her podcast close to the seaside and taking walks and enjoying the beach so much. It's such a beautiful blue. So beautiful. And I love Malabrigo. I've used Malabrigo 2 times, and it's when I started knitting, actually. So I haven't used it in a very, very long time. Yeah, 2 skins. I've used 2 skins before. One of them was I think it was called Malabrigo Worsted, in the pearl colorway, and this is one of the first hats that I've knit, and this is the Orchids and Fairy Lights hat by Tiny Owl Knits. And I just love this pattern so much. And this is one of the first hats that I've ever knit. And yeah, Malabrigo, and then I've knit another hat that stayed in France, and my mom told me, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, that when it started to get very cold in France, she didn't have a proper hat to wear, so she borrowed one of mine, and she told me it was actually the Malabrigo. It was another Malabrigo worsted, and she loved it so much. So I told her that she can keep it, but I will knit her something else for sure. Not something that I've used already, because that's not a very nice gift, I think. So these 2 skeins. Then I received today, so that's my left over from the sweater. There's another yarn that I wanted to try for a very long time, and so if you live in Europe, that's something that is very cheap, because yeah, the yarn in itself is quite cheap and the shipping cost is not that expensive either. So it's the Holst Garn, which is a Danish company, and this one is Coast, which is a blend of bomull. Bomull is cotton, I think. Yeah, cotton and wool. So 55% wool and 45% cotton. And that's the Dove colorway. So I got 3 skeins. Yeah, 3 skeins, and for 100 grams you have 700 meters. There's you can actually choose between different skins in the shop. I think they come in 25 grams, 50 grams, and 100 grams, or even more. So just, if you're interested, just go to the website. And that's very, very nice because if you know exactly how much yards you need for a sweater or whatever, and you don't want to buy 100 grams skin because you know that it's gonna be too much, you can buy less. So yeah, really, really nice. I'm probably going to keep that for an upcoming pattern. I really love this colorway, and my goal, I'm going to try to do it, but it's very, very hard, because I'm always interested in pinkish, burgundy, reddish color tones. And lately I've been trying to incorporate more neutrals in both my wardrobe and my designs, because then it's easier to, well, mix and match different pieces together. So that's a very good neutral, I think. And then, as I said, if I get bored, I can always try to naturally dye it. But because it's a wool and cotton blend, and it's something light, I think it's very nice for spring and summer. Speaking of natural dyeing, I've been trying to play a little bit with natural dyeing for quite a little while now. And so one of the yarn that I have dyed recently is this one. So this is Latvian wool. It's a fingering weight yarn. So for a 100 gram skin, you get 350 meters, I think. So that's a fingering weight. And I just love it so much. I'll be most probably attending a knitting workshop by the end of March, and the knitting workshop is going to teach me how to knit Latvian mittens. I'm really, really pleased, really, really excited about it. And they don't provide the yarn during the workshop, so they said that we have to bring our own fingering weight yarn. So I'm gonna try to dye different colors and bring them to the workshop. So then I will make Latvian mittens with Latvian wool, naturally dyed in Latvia with natural, with plants that have foraged in the woods. So I really, really like this. And this other one that is dyed with mushrooms. So I really like them together. I think this would work really nicely as a base, and this as a contrasting color for the color work. So if I have like a plain like creamy, it's between gray, yeah, I would say gray creamy background and some contrasting with that, and probably another color if I could get some red, or I think maybe some mustard would work really well. So gonna have a bit more tea. This week I'm drinking one of the teas that my friend Anna sent me, and this one is from Tea Cannon, and it's Indisher chai, so it's Indie tea with vanilla. It's really nice. I got another thing this week that I'm so stoked about, because I've been wanting to get one forever, and I finally was able to get my hands on one. So I'm going to show it to you. So this is my yarn twist. I've been searching everywhere to get one. I've been to vintage markets, I've been to charity shops, I've been searching on the local eBay, and I know that it's possible to find one secondhand or vintage. I just didn't want to buy a new one that would be manufactured in China. So because the knitting tradition is so strong here, I knew that there's a lot of people that are still having that in their basement or in the attic somewhere. So I've been looking for a similar one for a very long time. And so when I went to my local yarn shop 2 weeks ago, which is Hobby Wool in Riga's Old Town, I asked the lady who worked there if she knew where I could get one, because I told her that I've been searching for one for ages and I couldn't find any. And she told me that she had one at home that she didn't need because they have plenty of them in the yarn shop, and that she could give it to me. So I went to the shop yesterday and I got it. So just love it so much. I've been trying to dust it off a little bit, and it works perfectly. I don't know if you've ever seen how it looks like. But it works perfectly. So I'm really pleased about it. Other than that, I have some gardening notes. So if you remember, a couple of episodes ago, I talked about the things that I've been wanting to grow at home, and it's been growing quite well. So I'm really pleased. I'm going to try to show you the plants. So I went to the we have a market 5 minutes from here, and So they don't need these wooden boxes anymore. So I took a couple of them, put some soil inside, and replanting my radishes. So they've been growing quite well. Um, there's a couple of them that didn't survive the transfer, obviously, but for most of them, I think it's fine. And I don't know a lot of things about gardening, so I'm not. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't work out, because I don't know anything. So if I can have more vegetable than tomatoes, I would be really, really happy. These are pepper, I think, or tomatoes. These are tomatoes, I think, and the other ones are pepper. So it's going quite well. I have to replant them as well very, very soon. Then I have marigold that is growing. I have spinach, thyme, more tomatoes, rosemary, and I think that's about it. I've been trying to grow lettuce, but it doesn't. I don't have sprouts yet, so I think I have to plant them a bit later. So it's fine at the moment. I have more shoots than last year, so I'm quite pleased about it. So I think that's it for this week. I don't think that I have anything else to share. Mm-hmm. So before saying goodbye, I wanted to say that you can find me on Ravelry as Mandarines. You can also find me on Instagram as bmandarines, and I blog at www.bmandarines.squarespace.com. So I wish that you're going to have a wonderful week, that you don't have too much snow wherever you are, or that spring is coming very soon to you. If not, just try to bring some flowers inside, because it's always lovely to have plants and flowers when you feel that the winter is lasting forever. So yeah, I hope to see you next week or the week after. Yeah, so see you soon. Bye.